Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. Sorry for coming way behind our schedule. First of all, let's look at one of the senators. The Court of Appeal, as you know, has annulled the elections of Senator Elisha Abbo, APC Adamawa North. And that has not gone down well with the, I don't know if to refer to him as the former distinguished senator now or what, but he thinks that the cause of his woes is the Senate president himself. Let's listen.
Actually be withheld by government because of my critical stand on national issues. That is the truth. It is obvious. I heard it from reliable source, which I will not call the name now, that 5 senators will be removed from the Senate. Those who did not stand with my brother and my elder brother, my good colleague, distinguished Senate President Abbo. Those who did not vote for him, 5 of us are going. I am number 1. Ojuzo Kalu will go. They have penciled 5 of us. I'm take it. They told me that I'm going. Ojuzo Kalu is going, and few others are going because we did not support the emergence of my brother and my colleague, Senator Abbo, from emerging the president of the Senate.
Well, there you go. That is his perspective on the matter. But as you know, the PDP candidate, Reverend Amos Yohana, has been declared the winner of the July election. The February 25 election. So here we are. In fact, he even went ahead, as you know. I don't know what your thoughts are about the matter. He has actually predicted that there will be others, and he has also, adduced an ulterior motive, saying that the Senate president is he's not playing fair, that if he wasn't voted for in his enterprise, it's very likely that you would soon be seen out of the place. Now, this is one of the problems, perhaps, of, politics in our environment. The matter, as you know, instead of staying on the lane, oftentimes our politicians will adduce other meanings. The Senate president has already said that he has absolutely nothing to do with the sacking of Senator Abbo from the Senate. On one hand, one would sort of think, how could he have actually had anything to do with it? He's not a lawyer. He's not a member of the judiciary. So where would he come into it? But then, instead of staying with the facts such as they are, you heard him, say that that was his impression on the matter. And as you know, the senator, the very good senator, Abbo, he used to be of the PDP, then he joined the APC, and now, as it happens, coincidentally, it is the APC candidate, Reverend Amos Yohana, that has now been declared the winner. Good morning, Mr. George. What's your take on the whole matter?
Uncle Yari, good morning. It's
good
a
morning.
Laughable thing. It's quite laughable. Is Senate President the judge that is he of the Court of Appeal that adjudicated on the matter? Is it the Senate President that determines what the judges would say in their judgment? The senator is supposed to, first of all, address whether he actually won that election or not. It's not about it is somebody who did not want me. It's laughable. We are in a country where there is law and order. And this is remember, this is a senator that went to a shop in Abuja to beat a woman, a married woman that was nursing a baby, and beat her to stupor as a senator. And nothing happened to him. He didn't spend a night in jail. Now he's complaining that somebody wants him to be removed. I said, it shouldn't just make us laugh. If he knows he won that election, let him proceed and appeal.
Indeed.
And instead of witch hunting, a lot of things are going on in Nigeria as if we don't have law. There's need to have confidence in our judicial system. There's no organization that you don't see bad eggs. There may be some bad judges, but that doesn't mean that every judge is bad. Majority of them cannot be bad. So if you have a case against one, prove that the judgment is wrong, and you will still have justice. So for him, why didn't he complain before this incident happened? Why has he ever openly complained against victimization by the Senate president? I'm aware that he's chairman of the committee. Why didn't he reject it when the Senate president made him chairman of that committee? I mean, we are not children here. If he knows that he did not lose that election or he merits the election, let him go to the Supreme Court and fight it instead of coming out to whip up sentiments. On Fury, I don't know if you will give me time to say this. I'm worried about some developments happening in our labor industry.
Oh, labor. Okay, you're crossing over to labor. Let's hear it.
Yes. I don't know if you have also noticed it. The workers are in a war with the appointees of Mr. President. It started with Governor Wike in Abuja when the civil servant said he will not have his way, that this is not Rivers. He proceeded to Engineer Dave Umahi, the Minister of Works. People came late to work. He says he is not going to tolerate this. Then the workers came and started asking him, who are you? This is federal. The worker telling his employer that he should go to hell. Then, again, it happened at the Ministry of Aviation. The Airline Operators Association told Festus Keyamo that he cannot amend the rules. That he should go and sit down, he cannot amend the rules. Telling the minister he should go and sit down, he cannot amend the rules. And only yesterday, we heard that the appointee that the president sent to NIPOST, a moribund institution for that matter. The president sent somebody that he believes can go and resuscitate it, and the workers said, no, you cannot enter here. Where are we going? How did you get here in this country? That the president of a country will say, I am sending a minister to this department, and the workers say he cannot come. I don't think we should allow this trend to have a base. Otherwise, it's a dangerous trend.
All right, then.
I wish he's listening to me, or his aides, please tell him that the workers must be put in their place. I'm happy the way the woman is handling his own workers now, and Governor Wike. I saw the Abuja people yesterday. They were now hailing Governor Wike, the one they rejected before. just because the president has approved that they should be taken out of the RPPS role. Maybe they think they'll have more opportunities to corrupt their operations. But I know Governor Wike, he will deal with them decisively. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. George. Taking us on something of a roller coaster from Senator Abbo into Labour. But indeed, those things are remarkable as you recounted them. We all witnessed the situation, you know, in the Ministry of Works with Engineer Dave Umahi and his ordeal, if that is the word to use, at the hands of Labour, where he was told point blank that, Mr. Minister, sorry, that's not how it's going to work. Oh well. But then again, you also recall the case of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, and where he was being hailed as something of a hero. So his popularity is really riding sky high now. There are other, this even reminds me of the situation in NIPOST. Hey, catch a look at this.
Confusion stemmed after a press statement by the presidential spokesman who declared that President Bola Tinubu had changed the leadership of various communication agencies, including NIPOST. Soon after Tola Odeyemi's appointment was disclosed, reports surfaced that Sunday Adepoju, the former Postmaster General who had been previously dismissed, had been reinstated. This prompted the protesting workers to bar the newly appointed NIPOST CEO from entering office, firmly asserting that our appointment was not in accordance with their wishes.
We are not against Mr. President, we are not against Mr. Minister, but our desire is that the good works that he started must be taken to somewhere. Yes. Because removing him at this point will abort these processes.
The drama ended when the former Postmaster General left his office and out of the building.
The government, the person coming, myself, with the same family. So, I thank you. Excuse me, when I have time to address you, because I didn't ask for you people here.
Yes, sir.
Having now resumed, Tola Odeyemi is seeking the cooperation of all staff of the organization.
Over 15 years of work experience spanning both public and private sector and across the continent of Africa, especially in the innovation sector, I understand the need for modern solutions that cater to current demands, but without losing sight of core values. My experience and qualifications have equipped me to face these challenges ahead, and I also trust that with your support and your help and us working together as a team, there's no mountain that we can't surpass.
As the first female Postmaster General, Tola Odeyemi is keen to improve postal services through technology-driven processes. This fresh wave of controversy is as a result of the removal of Sunday Adepoju and the appointment of Tola Odeyemi as the new Postmaster General of the Nigerian Postal Service, which has met with stiff resistance from the workers here. Habib Alawal, TVC News, Abuja.
Well, thank you very much. As you can see, it's labor from one, workers really are looking at it from, one to the other. Mr. Yakub has called in. Thank you very much, Yakub, for staying on the line. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Even though you keep me longer, but I like it because I use the opportunity to listen to Habib Alawal. Before I proceed, because you give my president of fans of your fans of this morning, Mr. George, you give him a time, and then I think you do the same thing to me, sir.
Indeed, I will.
I've been saying that. Yeah. Usually, let me begin with Abbo. As my president said, it's a laughable matter. It's a laughable matter because how could you say somebody wants you out of red chamber? It's somebody that is not sitting on your case. Even though you throw stone, you see, anybody that throws stone to somebody's roof, you'll be expecting that person to say, but that person keeps to silence, and then you are not hurting yourself. Because I could see maybe because it did not support the Senate president during the primary, during the election in the red chamber, that's what giving him that thinking that this man wants me out of. The Senate president cannot even remove anybody from, because all of them are equal. They just elect him as their leader. So it is a lot of that one. It is not even discussion this morning, because let me go to this very, very particular topic that my president started. You see, Chief Jody, the civil servants in this country have a problem. It's a problem because imagine. Let's start from David Umahi Peoples. The guys in Abuja say that. In fact, I even watch it in journalist hangouts. They lock the minister inside, because the minister locked them out, and then they decided to lock him out inside as well. You see, Mr. President has come. He wants to bring a totally change. That is why the Mr. President Ashwad Bola Ahmed Tinubu said the renew hope. The renew hope, it is not left to somebody like us. A lot of people, especially 8-point-something million people that are giving that vote to him. Because we need to support this man for him to succeed. Because you can imagine the labor, the civil servants now say that we not go agree. Who are you that you are not going to agree? Who employ you? And then I send somebody to come and head the organization. You are not saying that you don't want that person. Who are you to say that? See, Mr. President should just continue we Nigerians, especially the 8-point-something million, and then other people that we are regretting that I could have given this my vote to Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, include those one now. We had them. We need to support Mr. President, especially when TVC, as a television station, giving us this opportunity, a great opportunity that no television station giving to us in this country, except only TVC giving us that opportunity to be our mind. Anytime we had this on social media or we had it on Arise or anywhere that opposite Mr. President, we will come here to default, we will come here to say the truth. And then I use this opportunity to support, by extension, to support journalists and girls, because this program, Your View and journalists and girls, they stand out in this country. So Mr. President should continue to bring the reform. We are here to support him, and then majorly, and then very, very important, we have to be praying for Mr. President, for him to succeed. We are going to see that in the next 1 year, Nigerian citizens will see the real change in this country. Who are you to say you don't agree what?
All right.
We have a lot of people who are looking for the job. Thank and God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much, Yakub, for calling in. Yeah, we do our best to let people, both sides, all sides of the question have their say on the program. Now, going back to the things that you brought up, and that before you, Mr. George calling out of Ikeja in Lagos had also brought up, I suppose there's a way, one way you could look at this whole attitude is that, you know, in these particular times, there can be freedom of speech. And it doesn't necessarily have to be palatable to any particular side. But Nigerians, we're in a very good place in the sense that, by and large, we can express ourselves, sometimes skating very, very close to the edge. And in the absence of anything that's taking on a treasonable kind of aura, it's like people look away. So I guess that's one up for us. A lot of people when I say a lot of people, I mean other countries, probably will be looking at the situation in Nigeria and be saying that these Nigerians, they're really lucky. They can say their piece without fear of some gulag type suddenly making them disappear. But still, people continue to counsel caution, even as people are expressing themselves. But let me take on Mr. Did I hear it's Mr. Adeniran?
Yes.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. I'm happy to be on this morning show.
Okay, we're happy to have you.
I want to state specifically about the issue of workers' attitude to the ministers. It's a very bad one that Mr. President needs to act quickly on. Because if this trend is allowed to go on, the State House staff at the Aso Rock will do it to Mr. President. And he must put down his feet on the issue of indiscipline by calling Nigeria Labour Congress and all the state chapters to order to report this kind of matter to them, that he will wield a big stick. Because he that pays the piper dictates the tone. What these people are doing, if care is not taken, will give birth to what the government will not be able to contain. And the opposition may hide under it to scuttle the process. What happened in Niger and other countries are things like this: underground workers that you depend on the voting against the system. This is an indirect way of starting a serious issue of revolt against the president and his leadership. They have to take it very seriously. Those people that are in that NIPOST, there are NIPOST offices in the villages. The people in Abuja that are not comfortable with the new Postmaster General should be posted to the village to go and be postmaster there. There are post offices that are not working there. They should go there so that they will become bosses. So that all these things should not be allowed in the system. Concerning Senator Abbo, I think he is just playing to gallery. His case is a very simple case. There's no way you want to slap somebody or beat somebody that will say you should not cry. Let him cry. He's doing his work.
Okay, then. Okay, welcome back. It's slightly different today. We started off with, the removal by the courts of the Adamawa North APC Senator Abbo, and him saying that he blamed the Senate President for this. But we've spoken about that. People are still commenting on the matter. And but we've since moved on to workers, let me just put it that way, workers and their attitude to their employers. And this has been occasioned by what's happenings in a number of ministries. You look at the Ministry of Works, look at NIPOST, and so on. And people have been, so we have a handful of labor, shall we say, or worker-related incidents. And thank you very much, Chidi in Kafanchan. You called in and you've held on. So go ahead, please. Good morning to you.
Thank you, Mr. Yori, this morning. I should start by commending you for your journalistic prowess in as much as this program is concerned. I feel sorry about the Senator Abbo and his travels at this point in time. But in any case, this has gone far to show the level of dynamism in Nigeria's politics. In any case, the senator himself still has the power and the right constitutionally to pursue his case to its logical conclusion.
Of course.
Having said that, I also want to comment concerning the workers and their employers. It is more fair in a democratic culture to look into the issues and then know how best to handle it so that the reoccurrence will no longer be tolerated and be allowed. In the case of these NIPOST workers and their employer, these parties should come together, let the government and let those who are in charge know why the workers are showing reticence to the employer. If there is any justification to what they are demanding, then an understanding must be made. But then I think it is proper for a proper engagement to follow this very present situation. Thank you, and God bless you.
Indeed, thank you very much, Chidi in Kafanchan, as always. But really, it's, a lot of people were probably surprised. But then maybe one looks at it and says, why would they be surprised? Because we're in a democracy, not a military era. There were times when we've been through times when you just wouldn't be able to do this kind of a thing because force would be used to quell whatever was felt to be, undesirable by way of public reaction. But those days, happily, are long gone. And I suppose there's a concerted effort to keep things the way they are on this side of democracy. I was even joking that there might be a number of African countries that still are in a democratic era, but still might not be able to go as far as Nigerians are going. And I don't think anybody wants to change anything. But there is the matter of rules of engagement. I have heard it commented in the case of, what was it now? I think it was in the case of the Ministry of Works where the minister was explained to that, look, there are rules. Even whatever was the beef of the minister, excuse my casualness with that word, the minister's essential point was that I need staff to work with. And people don't come to work until about 11 and are beginning to look towards going home around 12:30. And it's not going to work. And so he has to do what he can do. But workers, let me put it like that, workers took exception to that point of view. And we saw someone, I'm calling him labor only because he was wearing a labor flak jacket. And he was the guy who was explaining that, no, there are rules, you can't do that. But on the other hand, Minister Wike, he seemed to be, for the moment, he's popular with his workers. You saw the hero's welcome that he got. But we have another commentator from in Abuja, Mr. Adewale. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Aaron.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
My name is Dr. Adewale Adeobi.
Adeojo.
From Abuja. Like other caller rightly said, this is democracy, and I feel every Nigerian has right to contribute to its national development. I saw the NIPOST in Abuja, and I saw a gentleman who I know so very well. Where I'm bothered is this government was actually put together because we feel the government is coming to do a lot of things for Nigerians. The government should look into why the workers in that establishment are actually demanding that that man should be reinstated. And see why they don't want a replacement. So it's normal, the government can have their reasons. But still, the Nigerians deserve to know what's actually happening in all our establishment. If you really want changes that we are urgent for, I probably would want the president himself through the minister who is in charge of that ministry and MDs to cover it. Then on the issue of the FCT, I give it to the current minister who has been doing a lot to make sure that he implements the renewed hope of Mr. President. You can see one of the first standards, and the minister is talking directly to the president of what the FCT is, like implementation of the renewable agenda. And I'm very sure that in the next 4 years, the FCT will not be the same again. He has told us that he wants to establish what he did in Port Harcourt and the FCT, and we will be very proud of that. So the issue of NIPOST, I want the president to please stop it so that we, who are almost lost, will know what is actually happening.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Adeojo, for calling in. Of course, as you say, take all the points that you made, but there also is the point of order, and that there are ways of doing things. But look, as you say, it's the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory engaged with the president, and the president was, accommodating, and it looks like, people of the secretariat in the FCT, they just showed their reaction that we're very, very happy. And so there's a sense, and this also leads me to what was said earlier, that, look, perhaps government needs to begin to look into why people are reacting. But I don't know. Sometimes you hear that in the interest of order and good governance and good order, you often hear that they say they can't really be conducting a government on the pages of newspapers. I don't know. Sometimes there's a sort of a softening. There's a sort of a relaxation of that policy in the interest of the smoothness of the operation, and so we have situations such as we have now. But if you look at the Dave Umahi Ministry of Works situation, even the minister had to sort of backtrack a bit and say that, look, I didn't lock people out. But in terms of looking into the cause of some of these, I like the word you used, imbroglio. Where does it come from? Well, how about the point that the minister says, I do need people to work with. I have a job of work to do. I can't do it without people. I can't do it all by myself. Yet the workers, are not here. I have heard people say that, yeah, address that particular point. People can't get to work. People live far away, and, you just need to be accommodating. So there are all sorts of things perhaps to consider when we have this kind of, what is it? It's like a flashpoint when suddenly the people, the masses, the workers in that case, will sort of show that, no, we're not too happy with this. And then again, we're also hearing that there are rules, civil service rules. You can't just do what you want. It doesn't matter whether you're a minister or not. Well, let's see what Mr. Olufemi in London thinks about this whole matter. It's pretty unique. Good morning to you, Olufemi in London.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. How are you this morning?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for calling in.
Just a quick one. The program yesterday, I tried to call. I'm unable to get him.
Okay.
I needed to point one thing out, just briefly. The guy that called, there was someone who called yesterday who made references that TVC is this, is that. That is all crap. Okay? You are a good journalist. TVC is a standard bearer in this field. If you go to other platforms, they are like an activist there. Oh, you're standing like, no. And I look at them, where did they learn this from? Okay? That is a part. I needed to point that thing in. But for today,
you're very kind.
I think there is an undergoing rebellion, okay, from these certain people who want to delegitimize this government. Don't make mistake. I pay your salary, and I appoint someone to head your ministry, and you are protected. By God's grace, you're going to lose your job. Whatever it costs, Mr. President needs to stand firm. This is the era that we need to take a decision and stand by it. There are those people out there who want to truncate this man. Everything they did, they failed. Someone worked meritoriously for a certificate. They are saying it is forged. And even a lunatic, I don't understand. The social media is for every dark and everybody now, okay? Anybody is free. Someone say it's a democracy. Democracy was, I live in UK. That's what we call sedition. You make a statement, a fallacious statement to run someone down. Untrue statement. You go for it, even in a place of work. You guys are doing a very good and fantastic job. I am giving you guys kudos. When I do night shift, I make sure I wait for your program.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Olufemi. Thank you for calling in. Yeah, you remind me of yesterday. And thank you for your very kind words. We do all that we can, even though it won't be pleasing to everybody, because you can't please everybody. And I remember the little spat yesterday. I won't even call it that. It was a very nice gentleman who had called in to object to what he thought of as why didn't I leave matters where they rested, as far as a contrary opinion to the intentions and abilities of INEC to deliver successfully. Why didn't I just leave it there? And say, look, sorry, it doesn't work like that. We have to look at the other side of the matter as well. Are there no suggestions you can make? Are you saying that absolutely and totally INEC will not be able to deliver? We were talking about the off-cycle elections, if you recall, by the way. And so, but it was a friendly kind of a discussion. We do take all those kind of opinions, but there will be some who, once they have heard their point of view, which is that in that case yesterday, no, I'm not going to go with INEC. There are many, many people who are going to say that I'm going to give INEC a chance. Look, they have baggage. They have disappointed us in the past. They might have overpromised in the past, but there's always a first time. So why we would say that INEC won't, deliver this time? So that's the kind of thing. So we do allow all sorts of opinion, and thank you very much for saying it as you did. Sulaiman is also on the line. It's from Lagos. Good morning, Sulaiman.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. Can you hear me?
Good morning, sir. Yes, I can.
Okay, I just want to make a contribution pertaining to the topic you are.
Sure. It's a potpourri of subject matters, but go ahead. Take your pick.
Okay. I quite understand the reaction of people towards the ministers, right?
Okay.
I quite understand that of the Minister for Works, Dr. Engineer Umari.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you come to an organization as a leader, I think it's expected to have a talk with people that you want to be leading, right? You need to familiarize with them, know their challenges, and how to address it. It's not that a kind of just come in and, okay, this I want this to work and it must work. No. First of all, there are challenges. Okay, what are the challenges you guys are facing? How can we address it? How do you guys cope? How do you guys come to work, right? So because that day I was listening to the news that the minister locked people out because they came late. Due to the retaliated, the locked up minister inside the office. They don't allow minister to go. So a kind of thing is supposed not to be happening in this kind of government. They need to find a way to come together. Minister cannot work successfully without the workers supporting it and give maximum support. Also, the workers need to do their own best, make sure that they come to work as early as possible so that everybody can achieve the goal of Mr. President. That's what I want to say.
Thank you. Thank you for saying it. Sort of, there should be a sort of a reapproachment. It's like a lot of people, arguably, a lot of people sort of see it from the point of view of the workers. You know, interrogate, why are those workers showing up at 11 o'clock and are beginning to look towards going home at 12 o'clock and will want not an 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock salary. They want a full, 8-hour salary, or whatever be the case. But as you've pointed out, these things are things that are being addressed. People are not too close, they're not always close to where they work, and this does bring up issues. But you also made the point that, the minister or whoever, the senior people in the ministry can't work on their own. They do need workers to assist them to execute their program. So, and Labour came in and said that, look, there are principles here. Ordinarily, Labour will not bring everything onto the table. For instance, the whole matter about what do you now do with, in the case of a 1-hour work out of a scheduled 8-hour duration. The important thing is that there are rules. You can't lock us out. And I guess, yeah, it is what it is. And as I said, thank God for the fact that, look, everybody can have their say in Nigeria by and large. Mazi Okoroafo, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, I guess. The issue of this Abbo and Johanna issue.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, the senator who has been removed.
The appeal court. Yes. Now, what I want to find out, when we Nigeria have that interest of being in sportsmanship in terms of politics, anything we do, because how can somebody just wake up and say that Akpad will be behind your removal? You see, when I saw the headline, I started wondering myself, is that the exact thing somebody will be thinking? If you have a problem with Akpad, while the case was going on, you could have consulted Akpad if you are aware that Akpad has before the judgment. Say, bros, what are we going to do now? Forgive and forget. And you sat down. Judgment has come now. You see, sometimes, honestly, let us have what they call a sense of maturity in terms of whatever we do. Because when somebody has any predicament or any problem, he's not blaming somebody. It's just a child went to write the exam. After writing the exam, either he will blame the supervisor or the teacher, or will say that the examination board marked this wrongly, that this is not what I wrote. Who wrote which question? You want to wrote? Was I there? Was the examiner there? So why say that is not what I wrote? That they gave me wrong. That is what is playing now. Honestly, about honest, however, just accept it in good faith. I think they are not going to Supreme Court again. They should prepare yourself for 2027. Now, even though you are preparing yourself for 2027, you have to have in mind, because anytime you go to any office, you do the needful. You don't need to go and campaign. Your job and your work you have done will campaign for you, but people don't reason.
Okay.
You know that when you see where they deliver and bind and cancel, the ministry don't even need to go and advertise. It is the people that have removed their council and passing who go and bring new members to that place. That is what the politicians have learned how to do. Accept defeat in good faith. I'm still saying it. Go into politics as a vocation, not as an occupation. Good morning. Good morning, Nigerians.
Thank you very much, Mazi Okora, for their sportsmanship, to sportsmanlike behavior. You win, you win. You lose, again, except in defeat. Quite frankly, we've touched on quite a number of subjects, starting off with the very senator that Mazi was commenting upon, but also it extended to, attitudes, between ministries and their workers and what that says. So as I was saying, it's been a sort of an informal program this morning where we've sort of taken the impressions on a potpourri, a handful of ideas of subject matters, and heard what the people think about them. I always say personally that when you see what one's compatriots are able to comment upon, not just on social media, but also on television as well. Oh, let me quickly put in Pius calling in from Zaria. Good morning, Pius.
Good morning.
Yes, please go ahead now.
Yeah.
What did you want to comment on?
Yeah, I want to comment on the NIPOST workers.
Okay, then. Yeah.
Yeah, what, I just first laughed. Then I just, it might.
Oh.
I just remembered Abacha. I imagine him shaking in his grave. Yes, I imagine Abacha shaking in his grave.
Well, that was a military era.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are civilians now. We are Democrats now. And to that extent, things are largely different. But it's been interesting hearing this sort of unscheduled kind of format this morning and hearing a cross-section of ideas on all these kind of things, some of them bordering on the right to freedom of speech. And we've also heard in the case of the senator who has just lost his seat in the court that, look, people think it's laughable, saying that the Senate president is part of the whole game against you. We'll leave it there for now. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Iyori Folari. Bye-bye for now.